add a little B-roll. I was watching yesterday's footage and the day before, and it was lacking a lot of shots. So, picked up a new camera and a gimbal. I'm gonna try and bring some better production to it. Oh yes! And don't forget my way too long intro sequence. So let's get to her, I guess. Let's get to her. All right, day 3, here we go. We got the legs in last night. Reviewed the footage this morning, looks good. We got the legs up last night, no problem. Other than the huge amounts of rain. Huge amounts of rain, snow, water. Made yesterday so hard. These legs all done. They came out really good actually. We gotta weld them out a little bit more this morning though. Clearly. But the math says this should all be good, so you know, that's what we're gonna do, right? We're not borrowing today. All right, so now what I need to do here is to weld out the bottom of the legs. I didn't weld them out last night because for obvious reasons, it was insanely snowy and blizzardy. So I laid one pass here and then I have to lay a second pass because the ground was soaking a lot of heat out of the plate, which was wrecking the penetration, which you can't see from this, but I could see inside my shield. So I just ran a bajillion extra passes on a few of the ones that I noticed the pen was low. The overheads I wasn't as worried about, so I only did single pass on those. My little welder, I should mention, little 110 Miller welder is the real champ here. I just love that thing. String out a cord, take it anywhere. You can see my little Yeet camera is protected with that plywood there, trying to keep it dry because I only have one waterproof case. And you can see I'm constantly blowing out the weld with that, or where I'm gonna be welding with the airline. It is so wet out there. So the welds are just like mad wet, and just, it is not easy welding through water. And even like after you blow it out, it's not great either. You can see it in the weld, it's very porosity. So wet out there. So wet. Oh yeah. Pull on that whip, Lucas. That's real good for it. Everything I'm taking out of my welder. Oh, poor little Miller. Oh, you can see right here, I took off the argon bottle for the TIG inside because it's like, why am I dragging all that extra weight? But in my haste, I forgot to chain it back up and it fell over and smashed all the gauges on it, but did not break off the stem, which is great because I got to keep going then. People have been asking me too, like, why I didn't use a forklift. You can see the huge ruts and stuff, the size of forklift that's required to get that machine off. You know, it's a big forklift and they have solid tires because they are so heavy. They don't do pneumatic. And we had a lake here. So we had to, you know, dig a new channel. That's always fun. Anyways, well, it's set up, ready to go. Hoss move, day 3, part fucking who cares. I'm using a hammer drill now to drill through the concrete. It's about 2-3 inches thick. How a hammer drill works is it drills and pushes at the same time. So it basically chips the concrete out and then also drills like a normal drill would through the concrete. So how that works is it smashes the concrete and then uses the flutes or the spiral part of the drill to draw all the chipped up material and water and whatever up and out of the hole. Very effective in concrete. Like, I blew through all these holes so fast, and I think it's a 1/2 inch hole. Now it's time to install the plates. I used a plumb bob to mark where the center of the beams were so that I got the plates and columns dead center under everything, because all the math is based off of angles, right? And it all has to be 0 to the ground. So I need everything centered and dead level and square to the ground. So yeah, I use the plumb bob, which is basically just the weight on a string that marks the exact center of the beam, that I hold up to the exact center of the beam to mark where that point on the ground underneath of it. And then from that, I know where the plate is, and I can measure the center off that, which gives me exactly where it needs to go. So then I just line up the plate with the plumb bob line, and you're good to go. Anchors are actually puncturing all the way through the concrete, and then as you torque up the bolt, there's a little like jam nut that travels up through the hole and secures the bolt from the other side of the concrete, so you can't pull that bolt out. They're rated for, I think each one's like 1,600 or 1,700 pounds pulling force, and something similar, I think 1,500 in the shear direction. So like you know, between the 4 bolts, I could hang that, well, not quite hang the machine, but almost hang the machine upside down from those bolts. So more than enough. All right, so you can see here as I am setting up the columns, I set them on the mark that I had made previously on the bottom, and then at the top, same thing, get it close. But then what I do is I take a torpedo level and I put it on the side, and then that is what tells me that it is perfectly straight up and down. And I put it on, you know, the X direction and the Y direction, so you know it's perfectly level in 2 directions. Now I'm putting this brace up a little sideways. I had to compromise on it because, funny story, I had a car parked out back and its bumper was slightly over that concrete line, and it wasn't registered, and the cops came and towed it. So now I'm pretty careful what's over the property line. That was sketch, but good luck towing that out of there. Chained and also ridiculously dangerous. Super pumped. Today's going really well. Got the other legs welded out. Had to compromise on one of the legs. Which one is it? Which one did I compromise on? Which one is it? So I'm trying to get through the wood here with the saw, and the blade is not quite long enough. So at that point I realized, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to put it through the miter. I need to split all these now. But that spike is this giant spike, and I had a hell of a time just even prying them apart. Then you can use the grinder to cut through them, but it's not super effective either. At this point, I was getting kind of sleepy. Little update. We've started cutting the wood now, getting the donnage ready. Got a whole buttload of it for free. The place that I loaded this at, they gave me like 90 bucks cash to use their forklift to load it on here. They gave me all that dunnage for free. Oh yeah, let's squeeze one more row of boards in. Maybe two before bed. Oh, there it goes. The crowbar is sharp. Thanks for watching, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I got a whole ton more coming.